The ties between the Jewish state and the Jewish world have been most deeply ingrained by Aliyah, the immigration of Jews born and raised in the diaspora to Israel. One of the most important of those immigrants, or Olim, was Golda Meir, who moved to Israel from the United States in 1921 and rose to become its first and still only female prime minister. A special tribute to Golda was paid this past week in Washington, D.C., and our senior U.S. correspondent Mike Wagenheim was there to cover it.
The odds of winning a coin flip are 50-50. The odds of producing a Golda Meir coin, well, those odds are a little bit steeper. Thursday marked the official launch event of an effort, bicameral and bipartisan, to produce a commemorative coin in honor of the former Israeli Prime Minister, Golda Meir, who grew up in the United States. That initiative is led on the House Democratic side by Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida. She says she grew up in New York, idolizing Golda Meir, a symbol of a powerful Jewish woman.
For me, what stood out, in the early 1970s when I was a little girl, and she, I was very little when she became prime minister, but what stood out for me was her boldness, her willingness to put herself out there and to fiercely stand up for the values that she believed in, to fight for what she believed in, to fight for Israel's safety and security. And it's just the leadership qualities that she displayed were just not as common or as prominent in most women. That was the advent of the women's movement really worldwide. And so she's just my earliest, most wonderful memory of what a woman leader should and could be like when I was a little girl.
Unlike most bills in Congress, which needs just a simple majority in both the House and the Senate to pass, something like a commemorative coin needs 2/3 support in both houses in order to go through. That means an uphill climb for people like the organizer of this entire endeavor, real estate developer Bobby Recknitz. Still, he's optimistic based on past experience that this can get done.
The first initiative that we worked on was the Iron Dome, which obviously was led by Senator Daniel Inouye, of blessed memory, who was a wonderful friend of Israel, who was a fantastic senator of the United States, and he carried it through in record time. The second project that we worked on together with the Friedlander Group, representing us in governmental affairs, was the Shimon Peres Congressional Gold Medal of Honor. It was one of the few times it was given to a foreign leader, and it was done in record time. It didn't take 3 years. I believe we'll get this done in record time as well. And if and when it's approved, it'll be the first time that a foreign leader is honored with a coin from the United States Mint.
But while the commemorative coin initiative could take 2 to 3 years to get passed, Thursday's event also served as a celebration of 75 years of U.S. Israel relations. Republican Congressman Mike Lawler says there's much work to be done right now on that relationship.
And Israel is one of our greatest allies in the world, and certainly in the Middle East. And we need to continue to foster our relationship with them, support them, and ensure that they remain a beacon of democracy and freedom in the Middle East. That's why one of the first bills that I've introduced, along with Congressman Richie Torres, was the creation of a special envoy for the Abraham Accords, so that we can continue to grow and expand the Abraham Accords and help normalize relations between Israel and other countries in the Middle East.
Well, Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman of New York told us that all you have to do is look at last Tuesday's resolution celebrating U.S. Israel relations, which passed in the House by a 400-19 margin. However, the dean of the Jewish House Caucus, Jerry Nadler of New York, told us that right now U.S. Israel relations are in crisis mode. He put the blame on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and backed U.S. President Joe Biden's efforts to kill or at least limit judicial reform efforts in Israel. Reporting from the U.S. Congress, Mike Wagenheim, I-24 News.